On Friday, the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC, declared a famine in parts of Gaza. Tom Fletcher, the UN Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, has accused Israel of obstructing food distribution. He also claims that some Israeli leaders are openly promoting famine as a weapon of war and that Israel is acting out of cruelty and revenge. This is the same Tom Fletcher who in May 2025 claimed that 14,000 babies would die in Gaza within 48 hours due to malnutrition caused by Israel. This claim was proven to be false, and Fletcher eventually expressed regret. But his blood libel had already gone viral. Fletcher is doing it again, and he says his claims are backed by the IPC report, except that the IPC relies on data provided by Hamas, and it departed from its own benchmarks by lowering the malnutrition threshold from 30% to 15% just for this report. Now, here are the facts. Since the start of the war, about 100,000 trucks and 2 million tons of supplies have entered Gaza. In recent weeks, between 300 and 400 trucks a day have been moving via Kerem Shalom, Zikim, and new central crossings. 80% of those trucks carry food, and as a result of the increased food supply, food prices in Gaza have gone down recently, but only 10% of the aid reaches its destination because it is being looted. And Tom Fletcher does not count the millions of meals delivered every day by NGOs like the World Central Kitchen and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, because that would contradict the famine libel. It is Hamas's interference, theft, and violence that are the main obstacles to proper food distribution. Another obstacle is the UN's refusal to pick up the hundreds of aid trucks waiting inside Gaza just because they were not delivered to the Hamas-infiltrated UNRWA. One of the so-called experts behind the IPC's report is Andrew Seal, a fanatical anti-Israel activist who's praised Palestinian terrorists, who has opposed Hamas's removal from power, and who's justified the Houthis' attacks on shipping in the Red Sea. Tom Fletcher ended his statement on Friday by saying, "Enough." You're right, Tom, enough. Enough of those blood libels and of those lies. This demonization of Israel is fueling hatred and violence against Jews worldwide. Anti-Semitism has always cloaked itself in morality by presenting the Jews as evil and the fight against them as a moral duty. This Shabbat, after you published your libelous report, Jews around the world read chapter 54 of the book of Isaiah, where it says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn." The war itself, the one fought by our heroes to defend Israel, is admittedly more important than the propaganda war in which you're taking part. But you and those who defame and demonize Israel will not get away with it. You shall lose that war too.